this was like the biggest protest in San Jose around the Black Lives Matter movement.
What the fuck y'all doing?
I watched a few people just be shot like point blank with rubber bullets. Another cop from behind them just, he pointed his riot gun right at me, and I didn't realize at the moment that he was aiming at my groin, but he had shot me directly in my groin.
I was out covering the protests in Minneapolis after George Floyd's killing. And I went out on location. I was taking photographs of the police, and they shot me in the face. So I've been blinded in my left eye. I was rushed into emergency surgery that night. I've had at least one follow-up surgery. I go back to my surgeon tomorrow to figure out if I need more. We believe it was a 40 millimeter foam bullet. I've actually published the last photos that I took before I got shot, and they clearly show an officer loading a round that is consistent with a 40 millimeter foam bullet. That same officer in a later photo in that series is pointing that same weapon directly down my camera lens, and that's right before I got shots. And so what went wrong where a member of a police department thought that it would be fun to just target and shoot a member of the working press that was clearly marked as such?
The doctors kind of let me know that that my testicle had been ruptured, or that there was a possibility for it at that time, and so I was going to have to go into emergency surgery. They saved the testicle, but obviously with the rupture, there's just kind of we won't know if we can have kids until we try, because I've talked to and sort of worked alongside police, advocating for a better relationship with the community. I know that they don't like being criticized. I've been to protests before, but again, nothing like that has happened in our city, to my knowledge, where protesters are sort of targeted.
So the thing that we know about so-called less than lethal rounds is they actually have a 3% kill rate and a 15% permanent disfigurement rate. So injuries like mine, which is why they're not meant to be aimed at somebody's head or chest, because that increases lethality and increases the likelihood of maiming or disfigurement or permanent disability. The foam bullet it's basically just a bunch of really tightly compressed foam. So it's not a metal jacket in the same way that a bullet has, but it's like a hard rubber ball, essentially.
Shortly after I had gotten out of the hospital, I was looking up these rubber bullets, and realized they're only supposed to be bounced at the ground, and used as sort of a momentum shot or something like that. And there's lengths that you have to be from the people you're trying to sort of quell, and yeah, I don't think I saw anybody firing at the ground. And I definitely saw people being shot from really short distances.
of the reason for filing the lawsuit. Not only is it very expensive to go blind in America, it also is to figure out what the hell just happened there. Because I've been covering protests since Ferguson. I was embedded with the Bundys during an armed standoff against the federal government out in Oregon, and I've never, you catch gas in those situations. You might catch a ricochet of like you don't go in expecting that nothing might harm you. But there's a difference between expecting reasonable harm in the situation and having to watch out for police shooting, which I think is a like really distinct thing.
I think people should be paying closer attention to how less than lethal or non-lethal tactics are used on a day-to-day basis, and how something is clearly not working.